Amiibos, one of the rarest things on the planet. Rarer than rubies, comic books, pants, soup. Well, on my search to find the Amiibos I wanted the most, I saw a video online called Thunder Smash, the making of my level 50 actually, I really don't know what the video's called. Since then, the video's been deleted. I cannot find it. But anyway, what he did was he got himself a Pikachu amiibo, taught it using only down B to see if the training actually affects amiibos. However, his control group was a level 9 Pikachu. Level 9 computers are not comparable to level 50 amiibos. Well, unlike his flawed experiment, I plan to do a similar thing. Using only 2 Charizards, I will train one to only use Flare Blitz across the screen, and the other one I shall train in a variety of fighting styles to find out if Amiibos really do learn. Charizard. One reason that I'm using Flare Blitz is it's not a completely unrealistic way to play Smash. In doubles, at least. Second reason, I couldn't actually find 2 Pikachus. But enough screwing around, let's open them up. Now, I walk a middle ground between displaying and using. I bought them and I want to do stuff with them, but I can't take them out of the box. So, I cut a hole in the bottom. That way I can scan the amiibo in without removing it from its display. So I need to name these guys, and I took a page from one of my favorite TV shows and named them Flameo and Hotman.
Flameo, Hotman!
I used the move Flare Blitz exclusively on Hotman. But hey, if I'm gonna have a sciencey show, I need to have hypotheses? Hypotenuse? I don't freaking know. I read in the hints that when training amiibos, you should use a variety of fighters on the amiibo to speed up the process. So, hypothesis! If I train one amiibo using only Charizard, and the other amiibo using a variety of characters, the amiibo with one trainer will take longer to reach level 50. Flare Blitz! Flare Blitz! Flare Blitz! I never used an A attack or any other special. Even if I flew off stage, I refused to use up special to save myself. Charizard always wins? Well, for this round, I think you may be onto something. Alrighty, I didn't count the seconds to raise Hotman from a baby level 1 to a fearsome level 50, but it was exactly on the minute, 2 hours. Now, when training Flameo, for this training I used almost every character once using a variety of moves, so that I could test another hypothesis. Hypothesis! If I train one amiibo against a variety of fighters, it should do better in amiibo grudge matches. So I had him fight Zelda, Sheik, everything! In fact, when I used Charizard on Flameo, I made a point to use every single move I had except Flare Blitz. But after an hour and a half, I completed it. So go ahead and give a check mark to my first hypothesis. But now for the main point of this video. Hypothesis! If exclusively Flare Blitz is used on an amiibo, it should use it more often than its foe. So I booted up a 2-life match, and while most of the battle was smash attacks and grabs, Hotman used Flare Blitz 9 times and Flameo used it twice. Hooray! It seems that to some extent amiibos may learn, but with any good experiment it should be replicable. So I booted up another match, 3 lives this time, and let them go at it. But when all was said and all was done, Hotman used Flare Blitz 8 times. Flameo used none. So, even though it was a longer match and Hotman used less Flare Blitzes, he still did infinitely more than Flameo. So I put together one final 2-man match to solidify the evidence. After the match, Hotman actually won. He lost the first 2, but this one he won! Flameo used 1 Flare Blitz and our boy Hotman used 0. 0? Not only did Flameo outperform Hotman, Hotman never blazed across the stage. That almost completely ruined my hypothesis. I then did another 2 lives round and Hotman used Flare Blitz once. Flameo used it 0 times, and in the final round they both used it once. And then I did another 4 rounds against my other amiibos, but honestly Hotman only used Flare Blitz in 2 of the rounds, and only 3 times overall. As for the hypothesis of Flameo being a better fighter than Hotman for having a more diverse training regimen is also completely false. They had 4 fights each and won every single one, even the ones against our best amiibo fighter, Fitzgerald. Granted, here's the percentages of each fight and she did better in this respect. So, I don't know what to say about the hypotheses. On the one hand, I think my second hypothesis was proven untrue. Hotman performed just as well as Flameo, if not better than him. But I think my third hypothesis was proven true. However, there were rounds where he used it less and sometimes just plain didn't use a Flare Blitz. I think Amiibos do learn. A little. For the most part, they fight like level 50s, but they do use a little of what they learn. For example, Hotman would immediately use Flare Blitz after a miss, like I taught him to do. As for our Roy amiibo, we trained him with items on. When he fights other amiibos, he just stands there and doesn't stand a chance, but when we turn the items on, he kicks butt. So, there you have Science with Chet. I'm sorry if this video wasn't as funny as my regular ones. I just really wanted to do an objective learning one with a medium that I love. If you were alerted to this video and you don't usually watch mine, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? Actually, better idea. Why don't you watch a video or two of mine to see if you actually like it. If you do like it, go ahead and subscribe because I'll be bringing you more like those ones. And if you dislike it, you can hit the dislike button and leave a great comment. But don't just say, like, kill yourself. Be creative. Think of something interesting like, I don't know, hey, dirtbag, why don't you grab a copy of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on Blu-ray and fashion it into a knife and then chop off your own arm and don't seek immediate medical attention? Yeah, that'd be a good comment.